Amara was a young and very beautiful Nigerian girl. Everyone in the town admired her beauty and called her the lucky wife because she was married to a good man named Chinedu. He was hardworking, responsible, and always tried to give his wife a comfortable life. From the outside, their marriage looked perfect, like a happy love story. But inside the house, things were not as people imagined. Amara wanted more than what her husband could give her. She enjoyed attention, gifts, and secret love. Even though Chinedu gave her everything he could, she never felt satisfied. When he was at home, Amara behaved like a caring and respectful wife. She cooked for him, smiled sweetly, and acted innocent. But in her heart, she was hiding a dangerous secret. The moment Chinedu left the house for work or travel, Amara's real life began. She picked up her phone quickly and called her boyfriend. She told him to come over because her husband was not around. Whenever the boyfriend came, she felt excited and alive. She laughed, she enjoyed, and she forgot that she was someone's wife. Day by day, Amara grew bolder. She thought she was very smart and clever. She believed that her husband would never find out. She continued to live a double life, one face for her husband and another face for her lover. In the eyes of the community, she was a faithful wife. But in reality, she was betraying the man who trusted her the most. This was the beginning of a dangerous story. A story of love, lies, and betrayal. Amara did not realize that every secret leaves a trace, and every lie has an ending. Her choices would soon bring consequences that she could not escape. As days went by, Amara's secret desire became stronger. Every morning, when her husband Chinedu left the house for work, she waited for the sound of the door closing. The moment he stepped out, her eyes lit up with excitement. She would rush to her phone and send a message to her boyfriend, asking him to come quickly. For Amara, those hours when her husband was not at home were the happiest. Her boyfriend, named Tund, knew everything about the risk, but he enjoyed the thrill. He would come to her house with gifts, chocolates, and sometimes money. Amara welcomed him with a bright smile and warm hugs, as if he was the real man of her life. She forgot completely about her husband during those moments. Together, they laughed, whispered secrets, and behaved like lovers who had no fear of the world. Amara felt powerful living this double life. She loved the attention from Tund, the secret phone calls, and the feeling of being desired. Chinedu, on the other hand, worked hard in the city, sweating under the sun, just to make sure his wife was happy at home. He trusted her with his whole heart, never imagining that she was betraying him behind his back. Sometimes Amara looked at herself in the mirror and laughed. She thought she was too clever, too smart to be caught. "My husband will never know," she whispered to herself. The more she lied, the more confident she became. But deep inside, a small voice told her that danger was near. Every secret has a way of showing itself. A single mistake could expose everything. Still, Amara ignored the warning signs and continued her hidden desire. She believed her little world of lies would last forever. But the truth was waiting just around the corner. Amara was now living two completely different lives under one roof. To her husband Chinedu, she showed the face of a respectful, loving wife. She made sure food was ready when he came home, she smiled when he spoke, and she even praised him in front of neighbors. Everyone thought she was the perfect woman, loyal and caring. Chinedu felt proud whenever people called him a lucky man. But the moment he stepped out of the house, everything changed. Amara's face lit up in a different way. Her voice softened as she picked up the phone and called Tund, her secret boyfriend. Within minutes, he would arrive, and the house that looked peaceful and holy in the morning turned into a place of betrayal by afternoon. Amara enjoyed this dangerous game. She laughed loudly with Tund, forgetting that the walls had ears. She shared meals with him at the same table where she dined with her husband. She whispered sweet words into his ear on the same bed where Chinedu slept at night. For her, this double life felt exciting, like she was in control of everything. But living such a life was like walking on thin ice. Every step carried the risk of breaking. Sometimes, Amara felt nervous when neighbors passed by. She feared that someone might have seen Tund entering the house. At night, she often erased text messages and deleted call logs from her phone, just to be safe. Still, her confidence kept growing. She believed her beauty and cleverness would protect her. Chinedu was too trusting, too blind in love to suspect her actions. But what Amara did not realize was that no lie can live forever. The more lies she told, the closer she came to being exposed. Her double life was a fire, burning slowly but surely. And soon, the flames would rise high enough for everyone to see. Amara thought her secret life was safe, but danger was slowly building around her. The more she met her boyfriend Tund, the more careless she became. In the beginning, she used to be very careful, closing the windows, lowering her voice, and checking the street before letting him in. But now, her overconfidence made her blind. She laughed loudly, music played in the house, and sometimes Tund stayed longer than he should. Neighbors started to notice unusual things. One woman who lived across the street saw a strange man visiting whenever Chinedu was not at home. Another neighbor whispered that she had heard laughter and voices inside Amara's house during the day. Slowly, rumors began to spread in the community. People were suspicious but remained silent, waiting to see how the story would unfold. Inside the house, Amara also left small signs without realizing it. A different perfume smell remained on her clothes. A shirt button from Tund was once found under the sofa. Even the bedsheets sometimes carried the scent of another man. Chinedu did not immediately suspect his wife, but he felt something strange. At times, he would return home earlier than expected and find Amara looking nervous, as if hiding something. She gave quick excuses, blaming tiredness or headaches. Chinedu believed her, but a seed of doubt started to grow in his heart. He noticed her spending more time on her phone, smiling secretly at text messages. Amara ignored all of these risks. She thought everyone around her was blind. She told herself, "No one will ever catch me. My husband trusts me too much." But every step she took was leading her closer to exposure. The whispers in the neighborhood, the clues in the house, and Chinedu's growing suspicion were all signs that the walls of her lies were beginning to crack. Chinedu was a man who trusted his wife more than anyone else. For many months, he refused to believe that Amara could betray him. But small signs kept disturbing his mind. At first, it was the different perfume smells in the bedroom. Then, he noticed food disappearing from the fridge faster than usual, as if someone else had been eating in the house when he was away. One evening, Chinedu picked up Amara's phone by mistake. On the screen, he saw a message notification flash before she quickly grabbed it from his hands. She laughed nervously and said it was just a friend, but her reaction made him suspicious. He began to pay closer attention to her behavior. Chinedu noticed that Amara was spending longer hours on her phone. Sometimes, she smiled secretly, typing fast, and when he entered the room, she quickly hid the screen. At night, she pretended to be tired and avoided long conversations. Slowly, the warmth of their marriage began to fade, and silence started to fill the house. The neighbors also added fuel to Chinedu's doubts. One man hinted that a strange visitor had been seen near his house when he was at work. Another neighbor said she heard laughter during the afternoons. Chinedu did not respond to them, but inside, his heart was burning with worry. He started testing Amara. Sometimes, he would say he was traveling for work but return home suddenly, only to find her acting restless. Other times, he would pretend to sleep, watching her secretly use her phone late at night. Each small clue confirmed his fear. Chinedu was torn between love and anger. He wanted to trust his wife, but deep inside, he felt that something dark was happening behind his back. The seed of suspicion had now grown into a tree of doubt. It was only a matter of time before he decided to uncover the full truth. Chinedu could no longer live with only suspicion in his heart. He needed to know the truth with his own eyes. One day, he told Amara that he was traveling out of town for 2 nights. He packed his bag, kissed her forehead gently, and walked out of the house as if everything was normal. Amara smiled sweetly, wishing him a safe journey, but the moment the door closed, her heart filled with excitement. She thought she was finally free. Chinedu, however, did not go far. He stayed hidden near the house, quietly watching. Hours later, he saw a young man arrive at his door. It was Tund, Amara's secret lover. His heart pounded with anger and pain, but he stayed calm, determined to see everything before making a move. Inside the house, Amara welcomed Tund happily. She served him food, laughed loudly, and even played music. She forgot completely about her husband, believing he was miles away. She was careless, bold, and full of joy, while the man who trusted her was standing outside in the shadows, witnessing the betrayal with his own eyes. After some time, Chinedu could no longer hold his emotions. He pushed open the door and walked inside. Amara's smile froze instantly. Her face turned pale, and the plate in her hand almost fell to the ground. Tund jumped up in shock, unable to say a word. The room that had been filled with laughter became silent like a graveyard. Chinedu looked at his wife with eyes full of fire and sorrow. The truth was now exposed, no more lies, no more excuses. Amara tried to speak, stammering weak words of explanation, but nothing could hide the reality. The man she betrayed had caught her red-handed, and the double life she lived had finally come to an end. The house was filled with silence after Chinedu caught Amara with Tund. Amara's lips trembled as she tried to explain, but her words sounded empty. "It's not what you think," she whispered, but even she knew it was a lie. Tund stood frozen, his eyes wide with fear. He wanted to run away, but felt trapped under Chinedu's furious gaze. Chinedu's heart was broken. The woman he trusted with his whole soul had betrayed him in the worst way possible, inside his own home. His hands shook, and his chest burned with anger, but more than anger, he felt deep sorrow. He asked Amara only one question: why? But she had no real answer. Her silence spoke louder than any words. Tund finally gathered courage and ran out of the house, leaving Amara behind to face her husband's wrath. The sound of the door slamming echoed like thunder. Amara fell to her knees, crying, begging for forgiveness. She promised to change. She promised never to see Tund again, but her tears could not wash away the truth that had been exposed. Chinedu stood still for a long moment, looking at the woman who had destroyed his trust. He felt like a stranger in his own home. Everything they had built together, the laughter, the meals, the dreams, now felt like lies. Betrayal had poisoned their marriage beyond repair. Some say Chinedu walked out that night, leaving Amara forever. Others say his rage turned violent, and the house became a place of tragedy. No one knows the exact ending, but one thing is certain: Amara's double life ended in ruin. Her beauty and cleverness could not save her from the consequences of betrayal. The story closes with a dark lesson: no secret lasts forever, and every lie eventually comes to light. This story of Amara teaches us a powerful lesson. Beauty, lies, and secrets may shine for a short time, but in the end, truth always rises. A husband's trust is a priceless gift, and once it is broken, it can never return the same way. Amara thought she was clever, but her actions destroyed her marriage, her peace, and her respect. Every betrayal begins with small steps, hidden messages, secret meetings, and silent lies. But step by step, the road leads only to pain. No secret can stay hidden forever. No lie can protect a guilty heart forever. What is done in the dark will always come into the light. The story reminds us, loyalty is strength, but betrayal is poison. If you choose betrayal, you will one day taste its bitter ending. So, always remember, love is built on trust, and once trust is gone, love dies with it. If you liked this story, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share for more dark and thrilling stories.